If you have an intense desire to masturbate, you're addicted to it. You have an intense desire to always eat. Have you met people like that before? The only time they are not eating is when there's no food around. Anything that there's food, you see them and they will always be eating. That's addiction, right? On the other hand, abuse. The definition of abuse is simple: misuse. To not use something right. For example, I have a cell phone here, and how many of us know Nokia 3310? Jesus. Not so many people. Wow. I'm not old, I promise. I'm just a girl. You know it. Okay. So if for example, your parents get you a phone because they want to be able to reach you to come and open the gate when they return from work, to come and log. They just want to be able to communicate with you. And then you're able to, the phone also can take some games, right? Yeah. So you install some games and you're playing games. It's okay. But the moment you turn the main assignment of that phone into a game, you're abusing that phone. Because the use of that phone is for communication. Are we together? So abuse doesn't necessarily mean something that is, you use something that is bad. If a person comes now and climbs on this drum set, the person is abusing it. Why? Why? That's not what it was put there for. If you use this microphone as drumsticks, you're abusing the microphone. It has a use. So, you must have heard before that there is a little measure of certain, what we will call, for example, in paracetamol or in what's that medication? There's a particular medication that has a measure of marijuana in it. Any medical student here? Any medical student? So I don't misinform. Okay. I would not. Yes, sir. Do you know that medication, medical students, yeah, that has a measure of marijuana in it? Okay. So I'm saying the right thing. Thank you so much. So, this means that marijuana is not what is bad. It is when people now decide to use marijuana to make them feel all right that it becomes abuse. So yeah, addiction is an intense desire to do something. Abuse is simply misuse. Misuse of something, misuse of an office, misuse of whatever. That's what abuse is.
All right. So before we go into solutions or maybe how to come out of addiction and how to recover from abuse, what are the common signs that a teenager might be silently struggling with one of these?
You know what's funny? These days, it's pretty hard to tell. It's pretty hard to tell because times are evolving. And so, one may not always be able to say that a person needs help in a certain area. For example, by looking at the person's face, I can't tell that they have been raped. I can't tell that they have been molested. But a lot of times, whatever it is that a teenager is going through has a way of affecting them psychologically. For example, someone who used to pass before suddenly begins to fail. Not because, and then it's usually like a gradual decline. Not because they didn't go to class, but they're not able to retain as much as they used to. They're not able to concentrate on studying. And so the parents will now start saying, what's happening to you? You're wasting school fees, this and that. But that child is struggling in silence. So a very observant person will then call that child and say, something is not right. Which is why it's important to be surrounded by people who are not just spiritually mature, but are emotionally sensitive. So by one look of your face, they can say, what's going on with you? And it's also important to know who to open up to. Because may we not open up to the wrong people. Yeah. There are basket mouths around waiting to make content. Before you say one thing, they carry ring lights. Oh, someone that I know said that, and you know that there's someone that you know. Your matter has become TikTok, you know. So yeah, it takes It takes intentionality to be able to tell these things. However, as a teenager, I want to plead with you. First off, let me say that whatever you're going through is not peculiar to you. There are people who have been through it before, I assure you. Not all of them survived. A good number maybe have not survived it because they kept quiet. There is no shame in opening up to the right people. It will help you. They will walk you through the journey and get you back on track. The more you keep it to yourself, the more you wallow in self-pity and sadness and depression. Oh, nobody likes me. Oh, I'm not good looking. I'm always a victim. And all of such lies that the devil is whispering into your ears. The more you pay attention to those things, the more you go down the endless pit. The earlier you shout for help, the earlier you are gotten out of it. Are we together? Are we together?
All right. I just wanted to let everyone know that there will be chance for question at the end of the discussion. So if you have any question, you can just note it down with the ushers. So yeah. So how do we overcome addiction? It's a two-part question. How do we overcome addiction, and how do we recover from an abuse and lead normal lives?
Let me start from the recovering from abuse part. Like I said before, please do not keep it to yourself. You will think that you will be fine. Abuse. You will think that you'll be fine. You will think that, well, everybody's going through their own. Let me keep this to myself. I'll be all right. Let me give you an instance. There was a lady who got married, and when herself and her husband returned from honeymoon, they moved into their new house and everything. So in the morning while she was making breakfast, newly married now, I mean, they're still very, very lovey-dovey and everything. And so the husband came into the kitchen and hugged her from behind. The instant his hands went around her, she pulled out a knife. Her reflex response was to pull out a knife. And the husband screamed, "It's me, it's me, it's me, it's me, it's me." She said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm not telling you film, I'm telling you real life." She said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." He said, "What's that? Why did you drag a knife? Why did you?" And the husband became very afraid. She said, I don't know why I dragged you." He said, "No." Then, they went to see pastor, went to see doctor. Turned out that she had a repressed memory of when a supposed uncle tried to take advantage of her. And that was how he started. Gave her a hug from behind. So the moment her husband gave her a hug from behind, the memory that she thought she had dealt with and repressed, in split second, sent a message to her brain, and the response was violence. Please, I beg you. Please, I beg you. In fact, she didn't really remember. It took therapy for her to actually say, oh, because the uncle it wasn't successful, right? This is what happened. So please, deal with it. Open up to, it could be a specialist, like I said, a therapist. In fact, I would have said, open up to your pastor, open up to your mentor. But again, I have to be very careful about these things, because the fact that a person is, that person to you, pastor to you, mentor to you, doesn't mean that they are in the right position to help you through that journey. So, receive help by the Holy Spirit to discern who to open up to. My own is, please don't keep quiet. And do not open up to the wrong people. That's for abuse. Now for addiction. You see, as far as addiction is concerned, the how to recover is usually based on the why. You're addicted to something and you're hoping every time you do it again, and then you feel very guilty. And you say, oh God, I've done it again. I just want to get this over with. Why? Why do you want to recover from that addiction? Here is why I'm asking why. Because the reason why you want to recover is what will now inform the way that will turn out successful for you to. If, for example, the reason you want to recover is just the guilt in your heart. If the guilt in your heart is the only motivation for you to recover. After a while, the guilt will stop. Guilt is not a powerful force enough to make you want to recover from an addiction. It's not. Because there will always be something that you can say to excuse the guilt. But there is one why that will fuel your recovery. It will work like magic. Should I tell you? I should tell you the why. How much will you pay? Eh? Is it Uncle D that I want to tell? Isn't everybody? Then I'll tell Uncle D. The why is because I love the Lord and I want to do His will. I will tell you something today. A genuine love for God. A genuine, that's the key word here, love for God, is enough to motivate the worst person to do better. So, a person is addicted to pornography and masturbation. And because porn content are everywhere, there are some that are even soft porn, just scrolling through social media, and then there's one girl who is advertising the hair that she's selling, and she's wearing a bra. Have you seen such content before? Hair. It's hair that they are selling, It's hair. Or makeup, or even shoe. And then she's saying, come and buy what I'm selling in your face. And then everything I just seen is just taking you back. And so, what you have just seen then triggers a desire in your heart to do what you're hoping to stop. First of all, the moment you recognize your trigger, avoid it. You are not too strong a human being to fall. The moment you recognize your trigger, what do? Run like a madman. Let the back of your leg be touching the back of your head.